I'd like to introduce the rest of the board members. Bob Bagley, President. John Wirtz, Vice President. Kenneth Ernest, the Treasurer. And we have Herschel. We always tease him. Williams. We always call him Herschel Walker. We have Kendra Yamaguchi. And Lana. Huh? Where's Lana? Right there. Oh, there she is. I think that's it. I'll turn the program over to Bob, our president. Thank you for coming.
Well, it's either warm or it's cool in here, depending upon your body. It's a little cool or warm for me. Oh, good, the balloons are here. So I only have, for those of you that this is your first time, welcome. I think you're in for a great program tonight. I have 2 rules that I go by. Number 1, if you're not willing to interrupt your pastor when he's preaching, then I expect you to give the same respect to the speakers that are up here and don't interrupt them. The other rule is if you want to ask questions, you'll have to come up to the front so we can get you on the microphone and get you on video so that everybody can hear the question as well as the answers. So we're going to start off, if you would stand. I will start on an opening prayer.
Lord God, we thank you for this meeting tonight, Lord. We thank you so much for this gathering together of our leadership with the Tea Party, with our candidates, our elected officials, our great school board from Conroe ISD, our superintendent, David Vinson, and we thank you so much for this night, Lord. And Lord, as we would join together in prayer, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. Amen. In Jesus' name, absolutely. Name above all names. Thank you.
I'm looking for the judge. John, where are you at? Judge John. Yeah. He's not a judge. I guess he left. All right, then I'll just do it. Pledges to the flags, please. First, the great nation of America. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the great nation of Texas. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one nation, under God, one indivisible. Thank you. Be seated. So the first thing we're going to do tonight, because some of the candidates have other places to go, I'm going to have the candidates come up front, line up, and you've got a minute and a half. So let's get with it. Candidates, all the candidates, come line up, please. Otherwise, we're waiting to get through. No jokes.
measure of support. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I know I'm a familiar face to you. I'm Brandon Steinman. I'm your Montgomery County Clerk. I'm running for re-election. I would be honored to have your vote to continue what we started, which is modernizing our office, saving your tax dollars, and making this county more transparent. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Michael Gutzman. I am board certified in criminal law. I'm a prosecutor at the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office. Currently, I'm the major crimes chief. It's a pleasure to work for your district attorney, my colleague. I have a passion for criminal justice, and I love this community. I can tell you, as the chief of the major crime section, I handle non-domestic violence homicides. I handle proactive narcotics. I handle confidential source coordination for our office. I also prosecute gang members, organized crimes, and do special projects as necessary for the district attorney. But I'll tell you, Judge Kathleen Hamilton, for those of you that don't know, is retiring. And there will be an open bench in the 359th. When I started my career, I started in Harris County. And I saw what happened when soft on crime Democrat judges took over there. I watched it before my very eyes. I was hired by Devin Anderson, a Republican. I was there during the Ogg administration, and I've seen it. I've got 5 little kids. I live in Montgomery, and I can tell you that on my watch, that will not happen here. I'm looking for your vote. I'm looking for your support. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Gutzman, 359th District Court. Thank you for having me.
Good evening. My name is Mike Hawley. I am the Montgomery County District Attorney as we speak, and I am running to be the District Attorney. Thank you. I believe in the law. I believe, as Thomas Paine said, in the United States, the law is the king, and I trust that, and I trust the conservative principles that make what I think for good prosecution, which is to clear the innocent and hold the guilty accountable, and to do it in a fair way without fear or favor. I was in the Army for 13 years, and for the last 13 years, I've worked for Brett Ligon. The last 9 of which as his first assistant. And I say the one advantage I have over Brett Ligon is that Brett didn't have a Brett to mentor and train him, and I have. I'm ready to take care of this county, and I will take care of this county. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jessica Steinman. I'm running for Congress to replace retiring member Morgan Luttrell, who's endorsed me in this race. I am the only one running in this race that has a proven conservative record of helping the president. I actually sued Alvin Bragg, the DA in New York, when he went after President Trump. I've represented President Trump when he was deplatformed from Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. I've pushed back. I'm the only one here that's pushed back against the woke left. So I've sued the state of Oregon when they had boys and girls sports. I've sued another state entity, a school board, when they were trying to transition our kids in actually middle school age. I've worked, again, like I said, I'm the only one that's really worked on conservative issues. And so I would just I know you guys are very educated voters here. When you sit down and look at the ballot, you're going to hear a lot of people come up and say, I'm the person that's going to fight for Trump. And of course, that's what everyone is going to say in this race. But I want you to take a look at that person's record and see who has actually worked for the president, who has actually worked on conservative values as well, and vote that way. And I know this is a great group and we'll do that. And please, anytime, come ask me questions. Would love to talk to you guys and would love any support in this room. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Kelly Ann Ligon. I'm here representing my father-in-law, Brett Ligon. He just had to step away to another meeting. But if you don't know Brett, he has spent the last 17 years at the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office and really his whole career fighting for law and order and building one of the toughest, most respected district attorney's offices in the state of Texas. And now he's ready to bring that same fight to the Texas Senate and rein in crazy judges, help protect our border, and work to lower taxes. So we would love to have your support. And if you're interested in getting involved with the campaign, I would love to speak with you after this meeting. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to come up here and speak. My name is Scott Carson. I am currently a trustee for Willis Independent School District and now a candidate for Montgomery County Precinct 1 Justice of the Peace. I'm a lifelong resident of Precinct 1. Spent the last 20 years in public service in different roles, from being a working the corrections officer at TDCJ to retail asset protection to former law enforcement with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, and as well as working with the federal government at the Postal Service. And now I'm back at the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office in the civilian role. My wife and I have 2 boys in the Willis School District, a senior and a 9th grader. I'm very passionate about my community. I'm very involved in my community. I've stayed engaged with them as well. That's something that's very important to me. As a justice of the peace, I feel like the justice of the peace courtroom, it's not my courtroom. It's y'all's courtroom. It's the people's courtroom. And I tend to keep it that way to where people can come and have their grievances heard with the expectations of having a fair and unbiased justice of the peace to render a decision in their cases. So again, Scott Carson, running for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 1. Thank you for your time.
Good evening. I'm Bob Harvey, and I'm running for County Commissioner in Precinct 2. I am a businessman. I am not a politician. In business, I was a turnaround specialist, and I was hired by companies such as Halliburton, Schlumberger, Weatherford, and Gates Corporation to go in and turn their companies around that were underperforming. I am not for the status quo. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that. When I am elected as county commissioner, things are going to change, and that's what I'm going to be focused on. First one will be transparency. Second will be accountability. Third is going to be fiscal responsibility, and that means outside audits for both financial audits and for compliance. I will also implement contract performance reviews. The fourth thing will be integrity. And the fifth thing is I am an advocate for the shareholders. And in this case, the shareholders are the citizens of Montgomery County. So again, I'm Bob Harvey. I'm running for County Commissioner Precinct 2. I ask for your support. I ask for your vote, and I ask for your prayers. Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Tiffany Nelson. I'm a current Conroe ISD trustee, the greatest school district in all of Texas. And I'm currently running for State Board of Education District 6. For 3 years, I've been serving the board here at Conroe ISD. I'm currently first vice president, and we've stood strong for conservative values. As you know, thankful to many people in this room, we have swept the district and are all conservative. We have stood for things like Title IX, getting boys out of girls' bathrooms. We have written a policy to remove sexually explicit books from the libraries. We've stood strong and implemented curriculum that will be heavy on literacy and improving with the science of reading. We are fighting back against taxpayer-funded lobbyist groups like TASB, and we also have hired the greatest superintendent in all of Texas, here, Dr. David Vinson. And at the State Board of Education, I recognize the importance of getting our curriculum repaired. We've had some real issues with what's taking place in our classrooms, and our children are spending 8 hours a day in these classrooms, so we need to repair the wrong. We need to get all the woke and liberal indoctrination that is plaguing our classrooms, and I feel I have a proven track record that will stand and fight for the future of our Texas students. I'm Tiffany Nelson, TiffanyNelsonForTexas.com. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Nick Plum. Probably never heard of me. I'm running to replace Dan Crenshaw. So people are calling it the Crenshaw-Toth race. The reason I'm here is I believe I uniquely understand how the middle class is being crushed. I'm a tech worker at a senior level. I've worked my way up from the Army, I was in the JAG Corps, to the Navy, from Walmart as a trainee to running the company's most profitable supercenter, to now where I am at Amazon. Where I think I'm kind of at that segue, or I don't know, right where the waters meet the road of all the competition workers are facing right now, whether they're external from foreign labor or they're digital from AI replacement. We're going into this AI age with policy built for immigration that was written in the 1990s. In 1990, less than 28% of businesses even had the internet connected to their office. Our policies are not built to support the middle class. They are leading to replacement, they're leading to job loss, and they're leading to universities being transformed to such a significant degree we don't recognize them. Thank you. That's my platform. You can check it out, inleyplum.com. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everybody. Most of you know who I am, so I won't bore you with all the details. But my name is John Boucher. I'm running for Texas House District 16. You can find out details about my biography and all that fun stuff at www.boucherfortexas.com. I'm running because for the last 9 sessions, a handful of Republicans have gone down the hall and hijacked the party, undermined the majority that you guys have worked so hard to put in the Texas House. How many of you are tired of that and ready for a change? We need to fix that or nothing else matters. I've been working in the trenches fighting hard for decades here, a couple of decades at least. I'm very proud of all the precinct chairs, all the conservative people I've helped get elected in this county because I care deeply about Montgomery County. I care deeply about Texas. I was honored to work very hard for the Mama Bears to get them on CISD, and we were able to accomplish that. But I'm going to need your help. I'm running against a guy whose last name is on the sign that runs through the middle of town. I'm running against a guy who's endorsed by everyone there is and paid for by the super PACs, bought and paid for. He does not represent you. We have Austin's representative in House District 16, and it's about dang time that we have a representative from House District 16 in Austin. So I'd appreciate your prayers. God bless you.
Good evening. My name is Brett Jensen. I'm running for Congressional District 8, and I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you all again. As I've told you before, one of the things that makes this place, which is our home, so special is the level of civic engagement, and that is shown here tonight and every night at these meetings, so thank you for that. As many of you know, and I've spoken to you before, I'm a dad. I have a first grader. I'm a businessman. I'm definitely not a politician, nor was that anything I was ever looking to add to my resume. You know, we have a lot of problems. We all know it. And we all love Donald Trump. And part of what makes him special is he's not a politician either. He was a businessman. He was a guy that understood that you need to know what makes signing the front of a paycheck different than signing the back of a paycheck. And that's only something you can get from experience in the real world. So I'm looking to bring that experience to represent all of you and hopefully help Trump fight for what we all know needs to happen. We're on an unsustainable trajectory, everything from deficits to culture. So this is my opportunity to serve. I humbly ask for your vote and your support. Again, my name is Brett Jensen, and I'm running for Congressional District 8. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to be here this evening to come and see you guys and shake some hands. It's been a great crowd walking around a little bit. Appreciate you very, very much. My name is Charlie Miller, and I'm running for State Senate District 4. I'm a small business owner and a veteran. My wife and I built our company from very little with nothing, just a couple of bucks out of our pocket, and started from scratch. It was just me, her, and a hope and a prayer. And we need some common sense values in Austin again. I'm a small government, low tax, conservative Republican, and I want to go and to serve you and to work for you in Austin. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. I'm Judge William Wagner. I'm a Texas A&M Aggie, Marine Corps and Army veteran. This is my 17th year of service in the military as I continue to serve in the Army Reserves as a medic. For the last 4 years, I've been lucky to serve as a judge for the city of Conroe. I've presided over 60,000 cases during that time. We're a very busy court. I'm running for Justice of the Peace Precinct 1 to bring my experience, my dedication, my leadership. I'd be honored to earn your support. Judge William Wagner for Precinct 1, JP.
Hi, I am Gwen Withrow, and y'all are all applauding that I got my name right. So anyway, I am your county chairman for the Republican Party, and I am running for re-election, and I would really appreciate your vote, your support, and your prayers that I get through this campaign. I hate campaigning, but we have to do it, and we have to get this, we have to keep the party united, working toward the ideals that the Republican Party values. Thank you.
Do I need to lift this up since Gwen put it down? Okay, my name is Martin H. Wap, and as you can all tell, I have the best accent in the world. Many of you know me because I come here every time we have a meeting. And I'm running for Texas 2nd Congressional District. For the past several years, I've been fighting for Texas from the background. Some of you know what I've done. Some of you have no idea what I do and what I've done. I've been fighting in the courtrooms, and I've gotten many phone calls from several of you in this room asking legal questions. And that's what I've been doing for the past 4 years, 3 or 4 years. But now it's time to move from fighting in the background to actually coming to the foreground, because there are certain things that can only be done when we are at the front. And that's why I'm running for Congress, because we need people who are willing to have their faces tied to whatever the bills they're voting on. We need people who are willing to write legislation and have their names next to that, not just in the background. And fighting for our kids. I have my son and daughter back there. I would say I come from one crazy country, yes, and I come to the best country in the world. But here's one thing I don't want to do. You've heard me say this. I do not want my kids growing up in America and Uganda with all the socialism, all the craziness that we are trying to import. Mamdani. We don't want his Uganda in America. And that's why I'm fighting. And that's why I like your vote to bring that voice to defend America yet again. Thank you very much.
I'm Steve Toth. I know many of you. And I'd like to tell you about a couple pieces of legislation that I passed. I passed a piece of legislation in the 88th legislative session, or I'm sorry, the 87th legislative session that banned critical race theory being taught in Texas classrooms. This session, I passed legislation that banned foreign adversaries from owning land or renting or leasing land in the state of Texas. I also passed an amendment that bans the social transitioning of Texas children in our classrooms. I'd like to share with you what I'm most proud of, and it's my failures. In the 89th legislative session, I led the fight to unseat Dave Phelan, and while we got rid of Dave Phelan, we were unsuccessful even though we had 2/3 of majority of the Texas Congressional Caucus. We were unsuccessful because 21 Republicans joined 62 Democrats to give us Dustin Burrows. But I'm proud that I did the right thing and that I was on the right side of that. Yay. In the 88th legislative session, Republicans led by Conroe came after Ken Paxton to impeach him. I was one of only 4 Republicans that went to the front mic and defended Ken, and I was right. I lost, but I was right, and I was on the right side of history on that. Here's the story about success. It's appointed unto man once to die, and then what? Judgment. At the end of this life, you're going to be judged on what you did and whether or not your integrity was still intact. Not many people can leave the swamp of Austin or DC with their integrity intact. And that should be all of our quest. Whether we're precinct chairs or whether we lead here in the Tea Party or in the Republican Party, we need to do so when we finish. It needs to be well done, good and faithful person, servant, that you left with your integrity intact. I'm going to go to Washington, D.C. I'm going to beat Dan Crenshaw. And when I'm done, my integrity will still be intact. God bless you.
Well, you've heard from a number of candidates. I got to tell you, it's not an easy task to run for office. You're constantly on the go. You're skipping time with your family, sometimes your work, and you're getting ridiculed by people you don't even know and that don't know you. But if you have the time, some of them will be staying after tonight. Some of them have tables out here. John Wirtz is going to talk about that. But they need your support, moral support, prayers, money, block walking, telephone calls, emails, texts, anything you can do to try to get them into office. I'm going to have John come up and talk about the tables and our vetting.
Thanks, Bob. First of all, just wanted to recognize our table sponsors for tonight. Brett Jensen, run for CD8, who you just met a little while ago. He's been in a previous meeting, has a table over here, as does Michael Gutzman, who's sitting right here. But be sure to stop by and see these guys. Kelly Ligon is going to be over here. Brett Ligon's table. Kelly's right out here. Michael Holly. Saw Michael a little bit earlier back over here. He's got a table back here, and Nick Plum running for CD2. We appreciate you guys for supporting us. Really. This goes to help pay for the voter guides. We have roughly, looking at Kenneth, maybe 25,000 in the bank right now. We're going to need at least 50% or more of that because of the number of races that we're vetting around the county. I can tell you right now, well, let me introduce, or actually, if you're a vetting committee member, if you can stand up or raise your hand right now, appreciate. We spend a whole lot of hours doing the vetting, formulating the questions to go out to these folks, getting them back in, evaluating them, going to video interviews that typically last about an hour, and then evaluating that when they're done to get a score. And we'll talk about this more when we vote on our vetting committee findings in January, but we do a grade school score to all of us from that standpoint. And then if you're 80% or above, like a B in school, you're a candidate to be endorsed. And then you have to meet another threshold. It's a binary threshold of 1 or 0, and that's got to be 75% to be endorsed. So it's a high bar to get that endorsement. And we feel like it carries a lot of weight, within the county and the area. Right now, we've vetted in person. It's the only way to do it, to get somebody into our area to vet them, and it's under camera. Not the easiest thing in the world, is it, Michael? I mean, it can be pretty tough, and he's a tough prosecutor, but we grilled him pretty good. But it's so far we've vetted 11 people. We have 10 scheduled, 10 more scheduled. We're waiting to hear from 5 beyond that. I just found out we're going to have another race up in Precinct 1. 2 of those candidates are here for Justice of the Peace. And that's for Wayne Mack's seat. He's not running again for that position. And so we may have up to 15 more candidates that we have to interview. So it kind of runs right through Thanksgiving and into the Christmas holidays and then to the New Year's. So we're hoping by no later than January 19th that we'll have some results that you guys can vote on. If we're able to get that done sooner, we'll do it, but that's kind of the target date right now. So we appreciate y'all's support. I don't know if we have the QR code if you want to help and contribute to the cause so we can help get these voter guides out. You can do it either a straight donation or renew your membership. Anything will be helpful from that standpoint. Bob, anything else? Thank you very much.
So one of our candidates the other night stated it was like going through an inquisition. So it's it can be pretty tough. And if you want to get on the vetting committee, we've got space available. You just have to be a member. And our memberships start right now. If you sign on now, then it'll count for 2026. So the next thing, we have some guests from the grumpy old men, the grumpies of Montgomery County that want to come, much to my chagrin.
I'm Lucian Roundtree, and Bob probably doesn't know what's going to hit him here. There's a serious part of this, and then there's going to be a humorous part. The serious part is to recognize the job that you do with the hospital district. Bob Harvey is one of the founders of the Grumpy, and you know, maybe the next time that you see Bob Harvey, he'll be handing a pink slip out to a guy by the name of Charlie Riley. So why don't you do the serious part of this?
Okay, Bob, we're recognizing you. Bob happens to be a grumpy as well, and that's the reason why we recognize you. Yeah, and the thing that's really kind of funny about the grumpies is that when you're out and you're talking to people and you introduce the Grumpy Club and what we stand for and give somebody a card, the wife usually takes it first and she looks at it, she says, "Grumpy old man, you could belong to this." And then after the husbands come back from a meeting or two and they're asking what took place, the woman would ask, "Can I go?" And we got 35 to 40% of our members are women right now. Thank you. But the purpose isn't to talk about the grumpies, it's to talk about Bob and what he stands for with the Montgomery County Hospital District, and in particular with the emergency services and the EMTs. It is a remarkable achievement what they have done out there and the job that Bob has done with them. Most people, when they think about the EMTs and they see the ambulances coming down the street in the wrong direction, anybody that's been in the back of an ambulance, they're very muddled and confused about what's taking place. And the EMT people take wonderful care of you and make sure that they deliver you to the hospital in good conditions so that the doctors and emergency people can go ahead and carry on with the work. The EMTs get very little credit for this, because when you're in there in a discombobulated state, you're disoriented. When you get to the hospital, you see nurses and you see doctors and you see all the rest of it, and the EMTs slide out the back door and you never have an opportunity to thank them. So one of the things we're doing now is we're thanking Bob on behalf of them and behalf of the grumpies, and it's basically saying thank you very much.
That's all the good news we have, Bob. The rest of this, we're going to lay it on the line for you. This award is from the Grumpies to you. The title of the award says it all. This is the award for the most outrageously creative political campaign of 2024. Now, the hospital district is, if you run, it's a nonpartisan race. So I don't know how it happened, but I'm bothered by this. Bob got the endorsement of the Democrats and the Republicans. Now, I'm not going to ask a whole lot of questions, but I got to tell you, that was very, very creative. Now, I ask you to do something, and this may be difficult for some of you. Try thinking like a Democrat for just a second. All right? Bear with me. If you were a Democrat, I think this would be the last person you would endorse. So, you know, that's the nicest thing I could say about you is, you know, they shouldn't have endorsed you, Bob. You're the wrong person for their endorsement. Congratulations.
Thanks, bro. Well, I did get endorsed by the Democrats because when you're calling 911, it doesn't matter what political party you're under. And when our guys come and pick you up, it doesn't matter what political party you are either. Montgomery County Hospital District has the finest EMTs in the nation. And I'm not just saying that because I'm on the board, but because we're nationally recognized in the top 2 to 3 every year. This year we're back in #1 again in the nation. There isn't a thing that I can think of that our EMTs can't do. They've done open heart surgery in the back of the ambulance. They've amputated legs. They've amputated hands. They've saved thousands of lives. And they just continue on. So we all think about veterans when we're out there. A lot of us do, a lot of us are vets, and we tell them thank you when we see them and buy them a meal or buy them a drink or something, coffee or something. So I just, next time you see a cop, a fireman, or an EMT, just tell them thank you for their service because they don't get a lot of that. Thank you. After the first of the year, we'll have the CEO and some of the members from the hospital district come out and talk about everything that takes place within Montgomery County Hospital District. So next I'd like to bring up our CISD representatives, our superintendent. However, they have their program put together and let them run with it. And then we have Turning Point personnel here tonight too that we want to hear from. And I'll go into some more on that here in a few minutes. Come on up, y'all. It's your mic.
Hello, everyone. Is everyone awake out there? 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. That's what they say at school. Okay.
Okay, so
Misty's gonna kick us off.
Gwen,
Board
don't feel
president.
so bad because I'd be way down here too. Yeah, exactly. My husband gets that too. So, oh, you want us? Okay, hold on. I know. Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for having us out here this evening. I'll start off. I'm Misty Odenweller, Conroe ISD School Board Trustee and President. And we have
Tiffany Nelson, that's loud. First Vice President.
Lindsay Dawson, I am the board secretary.
Marianne Gordon, assistant secretary. Melissa Semler, trustee.
We have two other fearless mamas that were not able to be here tonight. Nicole May, who's here in spirit, and sends her hellos to everyone. She is working and in an interim position for the next 5 weeks, so she wasn't able to be here tonight. And then trustee Duncan, who has a sick one at home, so she had to be home with her little. Thank you all for having us out. It's been since 2022 that you all had us out here to give you a campaign stump speech at the time, and now we're here as a fully conservative mamas running Conroe ISD school board, and we're thankful that you had us out to give you an update. We currently, as I'm thinking, if you'll switch the slides. There you go, keep going. Okay, keep going. All right, we currently have 73,000 students, 10,000 employees, and we are the 7th largest. We used to be the 9th largest. We are now the 7th largest school district in the state of Texas. So we oversee, well, I'll let that next part go under the financial one, but I will tell you, this is a big ship to run, and I couldn't be more proud to serve with these ladies. On the next slide, you'll notice that we have stood with our commitment to you. When we were here in 22, there was Tiffany, myself, and Melissa Duncan, and then we followed up with 4 more this last election to give us this board. We gave you a commitment that we would be focused on literacy. If our students can't read, they will never be successful in this country. And that is the most important thing we could do, is teach them to read. We gave you our goal that we would stand firm in our commitment on academic achievement and outcomes, and we're going to speak on that this evening. Fiscal responsibility, we're going to touch on that this evening, which we have done as well, and transparency in it, and that we would stick to our community values, what you sent us there to do. We do it each and every day. I cannot tell you how hard every one of these trustees works, constantly. It's been said by a number of people, we're high information, highly engaged trustees, and that is no exaggeration, and our superintendent will attest to that. As well as every aspect of our district, they will tell you, very much so. All right, moving on to the next one. We have been also very active at the Capitol. Multiple trustees have been there advocating for basic allotment increase. That's how we get our funding. Basically, it's per student attendance. We get so much basic allotment, as well as there's other ways that we get funded through all the other buckets. SPED, gifted, talented, all different areas that there are buckets for getting funding. But we were there advocating for that, improved special ed funding. I cannot tell you what a fearless warrior that Representative Toth has been for us in this district, and standing with us, carrying bills for us, and going to the mat, literally killing Democrat bills to help get us things done. Not killing Democrats, I said bills. We fought for Mary Ann and Dr. Vinson and many others. We were struggling, and we are still struggling discipline-wise, but we advocated and lobbied, I guess you could say, for stronger discipline tools, expanded financial literacy, which is something that Lindsay has mirrored here and was working for. And we also got funding secured for our virtual schools across Texas. Now, virtual schools are not necessarily for everyone, but there are needs in our district for it, and there was no secured funding for it, and we were there on the battlefield working to get that done, and it did get done. So we don't need TASB fighting for our needs in our district. They are a taxpayer-funded lobbying firm with 1,200 school districts that have been paying them for years, and we know what we need in our district better than anyone. And so it is our job to be there advocating for our district and the needs of our students. No one can do it better. All right, now I'm going to pass it off to Trustee Nelson.
Thank you. Well, I'm here to talk about fiscal responsibility and transparency. It's everybody's favorite. We have adopted a budget. We are the largest employer in Montgomery County. We are the 7th largest school district in the state of Texas. Y'all, we are huge. We have over a $761 million budget, and we've adopted a tax rate of 0.9496. So this year we have a balanced budget. I know everybody was talking about being in a deficit last year and the year prior to that. We are proud to have adopted a balanced budget despite the inflation and rising costs. We've also, yes, thank you. We've also increased teacher pay and staff pay, and without raising the tax rate. Because we want to make sure that we are taking care of our teachers, those that are spending their times in the classroom with our children, our babies, our precious babies. We want to make sure that we're taking care of them. We began moving away, as Misty mentioned, from TASB to improve local control and independence, which is one of my proudest moments. We changed policy services and hosting providers to save money and improve responsiveness. We've also strengthened procurement oversight and vendor accountability. We set a goal to explore new buy boards and HR service options for better quality and savings. We've also launched efficiency audits. This is one of my favorites also. We've launched efficiency audits in personnel, purchasing, and spending. So y'all, there's going to be nothing hidden in what has been going on. We're going to be able to get a good snapshot overall view of what's been taking place in the district. We've also supported fiscally responsible appointments to the MCAD board for fair property valuations. Right? And that's all for my slide, right? Okay.
So that goes on to now.
Okay, so student learning outcomes. That is why schools exist. This is what we need to be focusing on. This was a big part of my campaign, of our campaign, getting back to basics, reading, writing, arithmetic. So we are going straight into that topic. Hey Bob, I got my kids here with me tonight. So first 3 months, we adopted Bluebonnet reading curriculum. First 3 months, they've been on so familiar with and Tiffany mentioned this I think earlier, but it is based on the science of reading. And what people don't understand is why we adopted Bluebonnet curriculum. So Lucy Calkins, I don't know if you guys have heard of her. She is all about 3Qing, doesn't emphasize phonics, and 1 in 4 school districts across the country were using Lucy Calkins, including Conroe ISD. And 42% of our 3rd graders were not at grade level in the 3rd grade for reading. 42%. I want that to soak in. And it's because of curriculum. It's not because of our teachers. We have amazing teachers. So we jumped in real early. We're one of the first adopters of Bluebonnet, and I think there's now 400 districts in the state of Texas that are using Bluebonnet. Oh, Indiana? Oh, the state of Indiana. Okay, that's awesome. So that was one of the first things we did. Guys, we're a good district. We are a solid B-rated district, okay? It's been a little bit status quo under our old superintendent. We're not going to mention him here. However, we got a major upgrade with Dr. Vinson. Student learning outcomes, his #1 priority. He came from Wiley ISD, which is the only school district in the entire state of Texas to have all A's in every single campus. He's the only one that's doing that. All A's. That's unheard of. And he wants to work for us. Like, wow, I can't believe it. So anyways, we're going to go from a B to an A. It's going to happen. We're about to do a curriculum audit in reading and math. Math is another core component that's really struggling right now. So he's about to come and flip this whole thing open, y'all. Like I'm so excited, I can't even tell you. So he is our secret weapon. And guys, not only is he data driven, he is all about character. And he's about loving students. And I really think that's the secret weapon, right? It's not just data, it's not just facts and, timetables. It's pouring hope into these kids, right? Motivating them to see what their purpose is, what they can do with their life, knowing that they're loved and they're seen. That is how you get to an A, right, Dr. Vincent? I don't want to steal your thunder. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. I want him to say more, so I'm going to leave it.
And the thing about it is data is great, but data without understanding children is a whole nother ballgame, and he gets it both ways. It's not just that we need the data and the information. We need to be able to have it help us with our students and how each student's data, what it means regarding them. Okay, I think you're up, Trustee Semler.
Well, hello. Thanks so much for having us here tonight. I am going to talk about our current construction in our facilities. So as everybody said, we're currently serving 73,000 students. Part of the reason that we needed to do so much building is because our most recent demographic study projected an additional 53,305 housing units coming online in Conroe ISD. So all of those homes are going to be sending students to Conroe ISD. You can really see them if you drive down I-45 right now, headed north. You can see all of those signs for all the new subdivisions. All of those are in Conroe ISD, and those kids need to go to school somewhere. So we've just opened 2 new schools. You can see them up here, Campbell Elementary and Eisler Elementary. They're beautiful, beautiful schools. They both serve 950 students. And Dr. Vinson actually made the point at the Eisler Elementary opening that 950 students is about the size of an entire school district and about 50% of the state of Texas. 50% of the school districts in Texas have 900 students or less. So one of our elementary schools is the same size as about 50% of the school districts in Texas. That just gives you an idea of our size. So next, we've got some new facilities coming online. I've got them listed here. So our 2026 openings are going to be Arnold Elementary, another 950 student elementary school, Fowler Intermediate, another 950 student school. That's going to impact the Conroe and Timber Mill feeders. You might wonder where the Timber Mill feeder is. Well, that is our new high school, projected to come online in August of 2027. It's going to serve 3,500 students. It's located off of North Loop 336 East, right next to Stockton Junior High. You can actually see it from Stockton when you're in Stockton. So that's pretty exciting. Opening a new high school is a huge deal. And then we've got 5 more schools opening in 2027. Cartwright Junior High, Grand Oaks 7th grade campus, Caney Creek 9th grade campus, and Grand Oaks 9th grade campus. So we're really excited to see all of the schools coming online. And if you see any of our administrators, please give them a high five, because all of those schools require desks and organization, teachers, and so they're working really hard to bring 5 new schools online in 2027 and 2 more online in 2026. It's a huge undertaking.
I think it's a record too. I don't think our district has ever opened that many schools in that much time, and especially not in 1 year. So it's very much a tribute to what these people in our district are doing and how hard they work. Okay, so now we're on to our policy work. I will tell you, that's one of the biggest things you sent us to do besides the academic part. You wanted to know that our policies were strong. You wanted to know that they aligned with our community values. And we have battled for 2 years prior to getting new trustees on to join us. And now we have probably in just the last 5 months passed like 30-something policies that strengthen parental rights, that are based on not only law, but they go a step beyond. One, for example, had to do with policy EMB local, had to do with things that the state says you can't do X, Y, and Z, as far as teaching DEI, CRT, transitioning, etc. But it was really placed on the teachers. If you read the law, it's basically the teachers. And what we said was, no, if they're in Conroe ISD on a campus, if they're engaging with our students, they cannot do it. It's not right for us to only put those stipulations on our teachers. We need to carry it throughout. We can't have it happening under the table, behind the scenes, or whatever. So we made sure that that policy was strengthened and beyond. And we're very proud of that. And people will ask you, well, why is it beyond the law? Well, it's local. The law is the minimum. Our local is what pertains to us and what our local community wants and needs. One of the other things that we're really proud about is our instructional materials, library content, and appropriate things there. It's not just the sexual content. There's a lot of things that go on in books that isn't just the sexual content. Again, CRT, DEI, there's things that are not exceptionalism, American exceptionalism. There's things that against oil and gas. There's things about just a whole variety of things that we needed to be sure that we strengthened, and we're very proud of that one as well. And one of the big things that has been our goal is efficiency and processes and procedures. Our district was lacking sorely in any clear procedures, and I am so proud of Dr. Vinson and his team and our board in working with all of them to try to get these things in place, and we are in that process now. That's a major deal. When someone else comes in to replace us, if there's nothing there, or a book for them to follow, a process for them to follow, it's just a major chaos and floundering. And that's where we found ourselves when, well, I'll get to that in just a moment. We weren't floundering, but we just were trying to figure out how to move forward without a process in place or procedures in place for us. So lastly, public transparency and communication. We are really working hard at that. Dr. Vinson has also started a boardroom brief following each board meeting where he and I sit down and just go over the highlights, and it gets recorded and placed out there of the board meeting. I mean, board meetings, even now, with us all working towards a common goal and all, our board book is still extremely large. We are dealing with a lot of things, and we are trying to keep our meetings short, but not everyone has enough time to sit down to a 4-hour meeting. So to get a boardroom brief and get 7-10 minutes, get a quick rundown is a benefit. I believe that pretty much takes us up to the most important part, the introduction of our new superintendent. We've told you already quite a bit about Dr. Vinson, but before I actually ask him to come up here, I want to just give you a little bit of background. I want to take a moment because the 6 women that I serve with are amazing. They are strong, intelligent, independently minded, focused in all aspects of what we do. And on May 1st, in the middle of the night, we received a text message from our former superintendent that he had taken a job in another district. And what we were faced with was the most consequential decision and task that any board could be faced with. And not all trustees ever are involved in. It doesn't happen for every trustee that they ever are in the process of picking a new superintendent. But these 4 brand new trustees, 3 that had only been there for 2 years but not in leadership, were facing that. But we didn't panic. What we did was we scheduled a meeting as quickly as we could. We went straight to work on choosing a process by which we would choose our new superintendent and hire Texans for Excellence in Education to lead our superintendent search. We engaged with the community, and then in the meanwhile, we also selected an interim superintendent, which happened to be Dr. Ted Landry from the Woodlands High School, that we are now thrilled to have as our second in command with Dr. Vinson's blessing, his selection, not ours. But we are thrilled that that's where he landed because he is an asset to our district, and he brought a stability and a calmness in a time that concerned many in Montgomery County, but in Conroe ISD especially. Within just a few weeks, all of that was done, and we then, towards August, went into our interviews of selecting our candidates to interview. After 3 days of interviews, we knew that we had we knew going in that our selection pool had the one, but then after those interviews, we knew we had the right person, and we couldn't be more pleased. We say that he has a way of saying it, and I'll let him use his quote, but we knew that we had chosen exactly who God had chosen. We covered every step of this in prayer, and I can tell you that when this board is in prayer, we are as a team perfect because we are carrying out God's will. And I'm very proud of that as trustees. So without further ado, I'll bring up to you Dr. David Vinson, our new superintendent.
Please accept my apologies for butting in before you introduce him. If y'all have ever even thought about looking up a mama bear, what is a mama bear? If you look it up, they're one of the fiercest women animals on this earth. And
are you threatening me, Larry?
I'm giving you a compliment that you have guts enough to take on 6 women, not just one. Seven, excuse me. I've been married to one woman for 52 years. And
that's right.
I just commend you, sir, and thank you, Mama Bears, for all you've done.
Thank you.
Well, I don't even have to say anything after that. You know, the thing is this, that I was at Wiley ISD, and I've been there for 14 years. And Christy and I had just raised our kids, and they had graduated from college, and we decided we're going to sell our home that we raised our kids in, and we were going to move into a garden home, and we were going to spend the rest of our days in Wiley. And you know, because that's what you always do, because we had our plan and God had a different plan, right? So then I got a phone call from the Commissioner of Education, and he said, and he's called me about different places, and I've thought about different school districts, and you know, God has a plan for everything. You know, I had the chance to talk to 2 of the trustees about this behavior management coalition, and I just thought, what nice people. And you know who was on there with? Steve Toth. And so the thing is, after speaking to those 3 folks, I thought, what nice people. And then I realized those nice people were the same people that were calling me about from the commissioner and everything else. And it's so crazy how it works. And so we decided we'll go talk to Conroe School Board. And, you know, just fell in love with these folks. As mean as they might be, Larry, and I think the thing is that as tough as they might be, they're wonderful people that really, truly have a heart for kids. And, you know, I want to be in God's perfect will. And I left a school district I loved, and people that I loved, tearfully left that place. And, you know, after we interviewed and prayed about it, and I prayed with them, you know, Christy said, this is where we're moving. So the Lord and Christy, my wife of 32 years, said, this is where we're going. And so this is where we ended up. And it's been amazing. And I haven't had a bad day. I mean, I really haven't. I got to work at 4:30 this morning. And I can't wait to get to work tomorrow. And I mean that. And I've seen our kids just be champions, and I've seen our mamas just embrace me, and I've seen y'all be so wonderful. And again, I'm in this God's perfect will, and you know when that happens after leaving a place that I loved, that I'm coming to a place that I can love even more. And as we talked about this, and I'm not going to make you do homework, I was about to make you do this, but I'm going to ask you at some point in time, the one thing that I'm asking the trustees to do, because I'm a servant, and I'm serving these great ladies to build a better school district, is when a kid walks across the stage and we give them a diploma from the Conroe Independent School District, What values do you want them to possess when they are proud to be called a Conroe ISD graduate? You know, I asked that same question of folks 15 years ago in Wiley, and we raised from 50% of our kids going to college to 81%. We raised SATs 100 points. We increased our capacity for welders and engineers, but we met kids where they were, but we gave them, as we said, hope. Hope is the belief that tomorrow can be better than today. Tomorrow can be better than today, and you have the power in your heart to feel like it can happen. You know, as Christians, I think that we need to be hopeful. I have a big God that's taking this God that wasn't much to something that allows me to be in front of you to serve you. And what a great honor it is. And man, thank you to these wonderful ladies. And thank you to you for making me feel so welcome, because I do appreciate you. Thank you very much. Would you mind, can I have a couple of minutes if you wouldn't mind doing this? At your tables? At your tables, would you mind? I'm going to give you these cards, and one per table, and I want you to list out the 4 or 5 character traits that you would like for a future Conroe ISD graduate to possess. We're going to take these documents, and these are going to help us guide our process for our goals planning with our trustees. If you wouldn't mind, I'll pass these out and ask you to complete them, and I'll collect them at the end.
Are you staying for questions?
Yeah, absolutely. And while they're doing that, they can answer all the questions. No.
Yeah, let's go ahead and, if you have a question, would you come on up and get in line? And then when we're through with the questions and answers with them, then we're going to get Turning Point up here and have a discussion.
Just, can I speak into this one? Just, is it on?
Hang on, I got it. There you go. Okay, I'm ready to answer questions.
There you go. And just remember that if you ask a question of the trustees, we do have a quorum here, so we need to be very careful what we can answer and what we can say without having a problem.
Yes.
Walking quorum. Any questions? Anybody coming up? Come on up, Bob. You okay with coming up?
Yeah, despite being so shy and introverted, I'm happy to. Yeah. All right. I think it's important to mention, and I believe I'm right on this, that the blue bonnet is the Texas blue bonnet. It's the Texas blue bonnet, not the national blue bonnet, right? Okay, that makes a huge difference. And I'm glad you're replacing Tasby. Who did you choose to replace Tasby? Okay, so you have no
Yes, actually, what the advocates, the group that we use now is Texas for Excellence in Education, and they are a group that actually creates all of our board policy now and updates our board policy.
Would you please share that with Dr. James and Willis?
I will be happy to do so.
All right. What were the other things I had? Oh, and the blue bonnet, we had Ben Carson was one of the overseers of creating the Texas blue bonnet, I believe, and people may not be aware of that. In our schools, and thanks to Steve Toth, he has helped Conroe a lot, and actually Texas a lot, because there's been tremendous change in our education system. The students now have textbooks, not all, at least my feedback in Willis from the students, not all teachers are taking to getting off screening, but it's there for them now. And the curriculum is tremendously improved. Willis had 6 or 7 interactive meetings for the huge, it's dramatic change that's going on in our school.
Question, Bob?
The replacement of Tasby, and if he would let that Tasby replacement be given to Dr.
I can
James.
do that for you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, and also, I don't have to, when I go to Conroe now, I don't worry about the school board trying to convince me that I can get pregnant.
I think it's because you're too old now.
Yes, sir.
This is just kind of for your own personal. When students graduate from Conroe ISD and people ask them about you, what would you like the students to say about you? Like, what's one thing you want them to remember you for? Kind of your own personal. What if they have to go back out and say, hey, what did you think of this guy at Conroe ISD, the superintendent there? What would you like them to say about you?
Well, I've been to every campus already, and one thing is, it's important for me to be at their events and celebrate with them. And my hope and my goal is that at some point in time during their career, during their time with me, that they'll say that I was present with them, that I celebrated with them, and that they knew who I was, because I was a person that they could make you connect with. Because love conquers all, and if they know who you are when it's personal, it makes a difference. And it was so nice having that ability, capacity, to do that. And I've already made so many friends that are kids, and do selfies every day. And if you don't follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you can, and you're going to be able to see a lot of kids getting celebrated. Thank you.
I'm going to ask the next question since I've got
Sure.
the mic. So not every kid is college bound or is college material. What's Conroe ISD doing for the trades? CAD, I work for an engineering firm, and we pay a lot of money for kids that know how to do CAD work. If they came out of high school knowing CAD, and think of Montgomery County's growth, everything has to go on a piece of paper. The civil engineer designs it, but it's got to go on a piece of paper that the CAD operator does, and that's how it gets built. And finding good CAD people, it's starting to harp on that, but other things than just college bound. What's Conroe ISD doing outside of that?
Well, the thing about it is that it's a great question, and I call it every kid. 85% of all new career jobs involve some sort of certification or degree, and I call it college with a small c, because certifications are incredibly important. And what I do is go to the Texas Workforce Commission, and I've done this in the past. I'll do it here, and ask them what the career trends that we need to fill our communities. In the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it was Texas Instruments, and they were actually not getting 4-year degrees, but certifications. So they could work at Texas Instruments doing the same things you're talking about. The other thing that we did in the San Antonio area is that we were losing all of our aerospace and power plant mechanics for our military service, and we were able to replace them and get them certifications that actually ultimately gave first-generation kids that are graduating from high school degrees or programs that were going to change their lives.
Is that something that would be in Conroe ISD, or would you partner up with
Lone
Star?
We partner with everything.
Okay.
One of the things too is that I was talking to Trustee Simler just a minute ago, or just earlier in the day, and one of the needs that we have is diesel mechanics. We got a ton of and so we got a ton of diesel mechanics. There are a ton of needs, and we have a ton of buses. Why aren't we using those same things? You don't have to build a classroom for that. The classroom's already there.
Hi.
Hello.
What are your thoughts on how much time our students are using screens, especially the elementary age students? And what can we control locally, and what is being driven by the state, maybe that we need to advocate for at the state level as far as our elementary kids being on screens?
It's really a great question, and especially at the elementary level, we've went back to a lot of different things that are required, that require paper and pencil, especially reading and math. And we were mentioning this. I was on the board to actually create the Reading Academy, and we realized that tactile field and the need for students to actually read paper books was an important feature and function of what we did. It sort of is a primary function of what we do now curricularly. Most things at the secondary level are digital, and you're having to prepare them for college and things like that. So a lot of those kind of things are in that way. But it's a balance, right? To prepare them for the future and prepare them for the road, but also realize that the screen time needs to be among other different things. Yeah. Thank you.
And I'm just passing along a message.
Talk to me.
I have a kindergarten teacher, my neighbor, and with the blue bonnet, she says they've been struggling to catch up, and she was asking if the district could provide like videos that they could go back to help them.
Well, I'll actually do one better. So one of the things that my expertise is in reading and reading instruction and the process of how we work through things. With Bluebonnet, one of the things that it's rollout, it's new, and every new curriculum has to be adapted. But what you want is a guaranteed and viable curriculum, but it's a very tight curriculum. And so what we're working through right now is the ability to create a year at a glance and a plan that will actually make it more manageable through the same process. And then the second thing is, I talked to the Commissioner of Education, and he's going to grant us $1.4 million for the process of actually doing that thing, coaching, planning, and helping our teachers implement the program.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you bet. I'm good at begging for money. I won't ask for y'all. I'm never going to run for anything, so I'll just beg for different things.
Hey, Dr. Vinson,
Howdy,
welcome.
ma'am.
Thanks for coming tonight.
I'm glad to be here.
The STAR test has now been changed to 3 assessments per year. And with that, they've changed the way the method of testing, and it's adaptive. What do you think about that?
Well, it's one of my ideas, actually. So it's a great idea, because one of the things I've asked the Commissioner of Education, the legislators, and otherwise is this. So high-stakes tests are hard, right? High-stakes tests aren't for everybody, but truly what you'd love to do is measure where a kid's at in a reasonably timed assessment that makes a plan and a process. I've used this thing for years called MAP. It's an assessment tool that you take at the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, at the end of the year. And I like to call it, the STAR test is kind of like an autopsy on the year, because you can't do much about it. What MAP does, it's a checkup. It tells you where you are, tells you how much you've grown, and then at the end it tells you where you're at in a lower risk assessment. And the kids like it more. It's more predictive of reading success, and it shows you where they're growing and how you can actually get better. And so I'm a fan of it. And so the next thing I'm working for, you and our babies, is legislatively to make sure that third test doesn't freak kids out, but actually assesses where they're at, because it's important. And MAP is, actually, I'm not taking any credit for this. We started using MAP here last year, and it started actually fully functional this year. It's going to be a great tool for us. I'm so excited about that. If you can be excited about it in a test. But I mean, yeah, I'm excited. Thank you. Yeah, it's less intimidating. The thing is that when you take a MAP test, a teacher gives you the test, and it's just like a regular test, and the kids get it, and they're not freaking out. You don't have to stop the school day to make it happen. But I mean, I will say this, is that our Conroe kid will kick everybody else's rear, and very soon with regard to reading and math, because we're going to get that good and we're going to do that well. So, not that I want to be competitive in that way, but we like being successful.
Anybody else?
Thank you. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate you. God bless you guys.
So for those of you that are fairly new to the Tea Party, years ago we started a program where we were giving scholarships to kids to go to the Patriot Academy. If you haven't looked into that, it's really amazing. My granddaughter got to go. We've sent, I think, 6 others in the past to go. You learn about the Constitution of America and Texas and laws and how to make laws and how legislators work, and it's just amazing. So it's kind of died out. But now we have an opportunity with Turning Point to bring those students in and compete. And I haven't discussed it with them yet, but we've talked about it as a board to offer scholarships to Turning Point students to go to the Patriot Academy. It's around $2,000. It's a little over $2,000. Yeah, it's for a week of training. The other thing that we did last year was we had, pardon me? Yes, it's right green, right. Another thing that we did was we had a Patriot Bowl. You want to talk about that, Ken? You're better. What do you want to say? Talk about what the Patriot Bowl was. And what we'd like to do is incorporate this with Turning Point students as well.
Yeah, we may have talked about it before, but the Patriot Bowl, the concept is we were going to do a tournament-based bowl, and probably four kids to a team, and it would be U.S. history, U.S. Constitution, history. What's that, John? Oh, government. Yeah, sorry. And we would, again, at the end of that, we were going to offer a scholarship to the winning team. Probably take place on a Saturday. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Is there?
So that's another tool that we're looking at, possibly helping out with Turning Point with the students, and that's just a scholarship. And I think it was like $1,000 per person for the team. Okay. So we have a representative here. We have a few representatives from different Turning Point chapters, but Madison Smith is the coordinator, and I'd like to bring her up, and y'all come on up as well. Let us know how Turning Point is working within your schools, if you're getting support, and just how things are going.
Hi, so my name is Madison Smith. I'm the local Turning Point USA high school field representative, which is now known as Club America. Our high school department is. But thank you so much for having me. I wasn't anticipating talking, so I apologize. But I'll tell you a little bit about my involvement, and then I want to introduce the people who really deserve the recognition, and that's our Turning Point students. And now I'm curious who would win the Patriot Bowl out of these four right here. Maybe you can quiz them. But anyway, so I attended Texas A&M University. I love that. That never gets old. Did y'all watch the game on Saturday? That was crazy. Are we going to win against Texas? I hope so. Okay. Anyway, I attended Texas A&M University. That's where I first got involved with Turning Point USA. Back in December of 2023, I attended America Fest, which is our biggest national conference that happens every December in Phoenix. And we were, coming up on a really important election year, and I just felt this growing need to get involved and, try to be the change that I wanted to see on my campus. Texas A&M is like the most conservative school in the country, but it still needs some help. Yeah, it's better than UT, but so anyway, when I got back from American Fest, I joined the Turning Point USA chapter my senior year at A&M. I served as a chapter leader there, and graduated last December. Actually, this was not my plan. I didn't study political science or anything like that. I was planning on continuing school and maybe going to be a teacher. But I think that this is where the Lord has placed me for this time in my life, and I've been working for Turning Point USA ever since January. So that was kind of originally why I got involved. And then I think everything in the past 2 months has really shifted for all of us, for everybody, but especially us within Turning Point USA. And it's even more important to me now than it ever has been. And, I'm only 22 years old, and I'm already really, really inspired by the high school students across this country and across this state and across Houston that are starting these chapters and really picking up that torch and carrying Charlie's legacy forward, because he knew that the next generation is the ones that are going to save this country. It's up to them. I'm a part of that generation, so it's kind of funny to refer to them that way. But so we really have to invest in them. And, there's been a huge outpouring of love towards Turning Point and our family the past 2 months. But if I'm being honest, there's also been a lot of backlash against us the past 2 months. And so I'm saying that because I really, really want to say thank you. This is my first time being at this kind of meeting, and I can already tell that just the love and support that we've gotten from this group here and from CISD. So I just want to say thank you, because this is not the case in every part of Houston, unfortunately, and it's not the case in a lot of my other schools. So it really, really means a lot, and I know the students appreciate having an administration and a board and a superintendent that will back them. And with that being said, keep our students in your prayers, because a lot of them are really, really going through it from their teachers and from bullies on campus. So just keep them in your prayers. But anyway, we have two separate chapters represented here of Willis High School and the Woodlands High School. So give them a round of applause, please. They are the ones that are picking up the torch, and they're the ones continuing Charlie's legacy. And they're the ones fighting the fight on their campuses, and so I'm really inspired by them. But I don't know if anybody would like to introduce themselves or say anything. Yeah? Okay, come on.
Okay. Hi, my name is JC Lanningham. I am the club founder and chapter president at Willis High School. I first got involved with Turning Point. I went to the SAS conference in July in Tampa, and it was one of the best experiences. It was moving, and Charlie inspired me to start a club at my school. And so I was a little reluctant at first. I didn't really know how to get started, but a bunch of the nice people there helped me start it at Willis High School. I first had to get a few phone numbers, and I was like, this is Owen. He's our vice president. I'm like, Owen, give me your number, give me all this stuff. I just need some names to start this club because I need like 3 or 4 people. I contacted Owen, and I contacted a few other people who couldn't be here tonight. But we got the club started. It was a very tough process trying to get a club started. You would think it's pretty easy, but it's not. Because it's Club America, it's very controversial, and not a bunch of people wanted to help me out with this. I got our principal, Mr. King's support, and then I got the president of the school board support. I really struggled trying to find a teacher, and I got knocked down a bunch, but I won't let that stop me. It's a very tough process. Thank you. I haven't gotten a bunch of backlash yet, but we got the club started. I have 2 club sponsors. We got our first donation a couple months ago. Our first meeting was beginning of October, so we got it started, and we had a morning meeting and an afternoon meeting. We had about 40 people come to the first meeting. Thank you. Which, it was one of the best feelings ever, getting to lead the meeting, getting to speak about Charlie, getting to get the word out. With the backlash part, today I wore my Gulf of America t-shirt. I got a few nasty looks, but whatever, that's okay. I know some people threatened to beat me up, but it's okay, yeah. But really, this has been one of the best experiences. I'm so proud to say that I got to start our club chapter and be the president. I got a bunch of texts from different people wanting to start the chapter, including Josh, who's our treasurer. He contacted me saying, hey, I want to start a club chapter. And I'm like, well, I already started one. Beat you to it, I guess. But thank you so much for this opportunity. Being here is so great. Getting Willis out here, and thank you all so much.
Hello, everybody. I'm Owen Griffin. I am the vice president, as she said, at Willis High School, the chapter. I first heard about Charlie on Instagram. He really inspired me to keep going with the conservative movement, but not just the conservative movement, but God's plan. As I moved here a year ago, I didn't know much about Montgomery County. I came from Harris County, so Cypress, Texas. So it's a little bit different change of scenery, but I'm glad y'all welcomed me here. It means a lot. JC got me started with this, and I'm just blessed to be able to carry on Charlie's legacy, but also carry out God's plan for everybody. As now more than ever, we all need God in our lives. So I just want y'all to keep him in your hearts, keep preaching his name, and he's a name above names. And thank y'all for welcoming us out here, and I can't wait to be back again next year.
Hello, everybody. My name is Josh Miller, your local history nerd. I plan on studying history and political science at Texas A&M University next fall. I got started in the club when I went to Washington, D.C. over spring break last year. I got to tour the White House, saw the Constitution right in front of my face, and I was like, this is definitely what I want to do. I didn't know if I wanted to go to law school. No, I finally decided on that. I run a history page on social media, History with Josh 1, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I'm going to get on Facebook pretty soon. But I just wanted to stop the misinformation. I started after the White House joined TikTok because people were like, why is the White House on TikTok? They were trying to ban it after it was previous administration. So I just wanted to stop the misinformation. I've had videos about Charlie Kirk be uploaded, and I've received backlash for that. My most popular videos was a picture of a Starbucks cup on Charlie Kirk's birthday, and I was just getting flamed in the comments, people posting pictures of him getting shot. I've had some people that I hold very close to me, some of my closest friends, tell me, if you keep believing in that dumb stuff, you'll end up like him. But I'm still standing here today, and that's not going to stop me. So I just want to thank everybody that met here today. I was blessed enough to work the election with DJ right here. It was an awesome experience, and I can't wait to get more involved with y'all. Thank you.
Hey y'all, I see some familiar faces here tonight. I am the president of the Turning Point chapter at the Woodlands High School. We are the, I believe, second largest high school in Conroe ISD, which is the reason, even with 48 hours of the deadline for the club registration, I got the courage to get all the signatures, my club sponsor, and all my paperwork done on time. And that was challenging, if I don't lie to y'all. Time was tight on me, but I managed a way to figure it out. And there's been some bumps on the road for my chapter, but honestly, I use that as motivation for myself. Before I graduate this year, my chapter is gonna try to get to 50 memberships. Right now, we're at 30. We started at 3, which is, we're moving the needle. And my club has been excited seeing all the momentum that we're gathering, and we've been able to bring great speakers like Steve Toth. I know that got a lot of people excited, and we have a few more big name politicians stopping by, which is really motivating for my chapter. They love to see that happen for us. And yeah, I just wanted to come introduce myself again to some of y'all, and those that don't know me, my name is Neftali Cruz. I just got to Montgomery County from Travis County, so that might say a little bit of, that may sound a little bit odd, but I was just tired of being told to read the room and go along with it. I felt like my voice matters, so it's the reason I decided to give a voice to like-minded individuals at my campus, and that's what I hope to expand at my high school, which I hope it's going really well so far. I hope it goes like that till the year ends. So thank y'all for having me today.
I'd like y'all to stay up here just for a minute. I got a couple of things beforehand, but I want everybody to pray for y'all.
All I wanted to say is my I've got 3 daughters, 30, 22, youngest is 17. The youngest loves the Lord. And to hear you out here, as young as you are, speaking in the name of the Lord and carrying the torch, I just want to say I am so humbled and so encouraged. There are so many people here tonight. I know so many of you, Susan, Steve, who go to the school boards and have spoken for years against things that are horrific for children. But to see guys your age, young women and young men your age, to speak so boldly and to be so encouraging, don't let it stop. Don't let the enemy come in and discourage you. We will be praying for you. And we want more to follow your example. You are excellent examples. And You can do anything in Christ, right? So I had to get up and say something. I didn't want to get up and say something, but you brought me to tears. Like, it's amazing. And Bob, yeah, we need to pray. We need to pray. I believe there's more like you that are too afraid to stand up and speak out. And we need to pray for boldness, but that they would come through the Lord first. I am so amazed. I'm gobsmacked right now. Like, I'm gobsmacked. I am. So keep it up. Keep it up.
Hey guys, quick favor, if you could get your phone out for me, and if you could go to YouTube, and if you would look up Montgomery County Tea Party. I need to get 50 subscribers tonight, and everybody in this room, if you'll do this and just hit the subscribe button real quick, then we'll be able to stream next time we meet together. We have to have 50 as a minimum in order to do that. So if you wouldn't mind, you just go to YouTube, type in Montgomery County Tea Party. You're going to get a match. And you'll know you found us when you see the one that says Montgomery County Tea Party and it says 2 subscribers. Okay? That's why we need your help today. So definitely take a look at that. When you get to the right page, you just hit the bell for subscribe right there. And we'll be done. We'll be ready to stream next time we meet on YouTube. Thanks so much, guys.
Steve, please come. Close us in prayer, please.
You guys, let's, why don't we stand? What I want to ask you to do is raise your hand over. You guys can keep your hands down. We're going to be praying for you. So what I want to ask you guys to do is lift your hands. And something else too, Christian Collins, come on up here. Christian, one of the reasons why Turning Point is seeing the growth that it's seen over the years in this area is because of Christian Collins and his work at the Youth Summit. Buddy, we just want to express our gratitude to you. Christian's a friend of Charlie's. Charlie in many ways mentored Christian, and what we see up here is an outpouring of God's faithfulness. 1 Thessalonians says, faithful is he who called you, and he will do it. All you have to do is be faithful, and he will do it. He raises these kids up, even though many of you have never met these kids before. Young people, you're adults. I'm sorry I called you kids. But you're our future, and we're so thankful for you. You have no idea how much our hearts are encouraged to see you guys. So let's go before the Lord. Father God, we thank you for these warriors that you're raising up for your gospel. The good news of Jesus Christ, to be a voice of love and a voice of truth in this generation that stands against the lies and the deceit of the wicked one, the thief who comes to kill, to steal, and destroy. So we thank you for them, God, that they're a sweet aroma, God, in this generation and upon our land. Bless them, protect them, keep them, give them favor beyond their years, and give them the courage to stand bold. And give them hearts, Lord God, that know encouragement in the face of harsh words and lies that are spoken of them. Thank you for what you're doing in and through them in Jesus' name. And all God's children said, amen.
So for our next 3 months, we're going to have candidates, large office candidates that are going to be speaking. So we look forward to seeing you back 1st of December. Thank you.